Welcome. If you're new here, welcome back. If you're not, my name is Debbie Wombold, aka Minnie. We're on Homestead 2, and I thought I would give you a tour. I don't think I gave a tour this summer because things have been so busy. So yeah, I want to give you guys a tour. I want to show you what's up, what's grown, what hasn't grown, and the changes we made this year. So right now we're on what I call the landing pad, and this is this year's pig pen. It's bigger and more luxurious than last year's. And yes, that's an electric fence for predators, human and animal predators. And there's our two pigs for this year. Happy pigs. Over here is where we keep a few things planted. We have a very successful planting of squash and pumpkin in this giant patch, which goes way over there into the woods. And we have a couple of squash on the vine already. This is my hugel mound that I did plant garlic in before, which wasn't too successful, and this year I planted strawberries in, and it was the most successful I've ever grown strawberries. We got probably 4 or 5 quarts off of this, and so we're going to expand this next year, probably out in that direction, and do more strawberries in it because we eat a lot of them. High bush blueberries are still here but aren't producing as well as we'd like. And I figured out the issue is that they're not getting full sun for enough hours in the day. So there's cobwebs in here. So that's those. And a couple more high bush blueberries here. Over here we did plant watermelon in this little patch of compost that we had. But that didn't grow. So there are some potatoes, volunteer potatoes in there. Over here is, and I know it's hard to see, but there is gooseberries, which are stripped to the bare stems, and then haskap, 2 haskap bushes, 2 haskap bushes and a gooseberry bush there. And in here are some raspberry canes that we planted that are marked by these little hooks. That's Sophie. More raspberry canes there, a big patch of heather for the pollinators, of course. And over here, new this year, is a currant, red currant bush. So that's in there. That's the currant bush right here, which is still growing really well, and it had a lot of currants on it, but a rabbit ate them. I had cut away to come over here. These are our meat birds. They're all really growing really well this year. They're super happy because they're in the former chicken pen with an opening to the former turkey pen. So they have a nice run to go through. We have 11. We started with 12, but we lost one early on. So yeah, they're growing really well. Our turkeys, and they're growing really well too. The turkeys are quite sizable already. They're pretty docile. They just kind of hang out all day. But yeah, they're growing really well. We've got 2 toms, 3 toms, and 3 hens, 6 turkeys this year. So we doubled our chickens and we doubled our turkeys this year. All right, so that's our new water tote. We got that this year. It's secondhand, but it's been always used for water, and it is full of water. We haven't used any of it. We've used water from the pond just to make sure that we continue to have enough water. This is the big garden. So that bare patch over there was beans, which we had a really great yield, and then onions, and then garlic. And so the onions and garlic are out, and so are the beans. And this is a new row of potatoes. Right here is kohlrabi and Brussels sprouts that aren't doing anything, but they're there. And a lot of weeds that are coming out this weekend, hopefully. There's Lennon picking at a, what do you got?
I don't know.
Some kind of bug?
Well, I'm gonna try and flip it over.
There's never a shortage of bugs and things to do. Over here is the second garden that we just put this in this year, and it has dill, beets, and carrots. So we had really good yield for all of it. As you might have seen in my socials, that I pickled some of our carrots that we thinned out. I didn't want to waste them, so we pickled them. You got it?
Yeah.
Let's see what it is.
Still alive?
Ooh, that looks like a carrion beetle to me. Look how shiny his shell is. And it's almost like copper colored. Very nice. So this is our second planting of potatoes in here, in these bins. We had pulled them out, and we probably got 20 pounds of potatoes out of these 3 bins. So next year the plan is to find 3 more and double our potato production, I guess you could call it. This is the pond, or the path to the pond. And yeah, not much has changed down here. I planted some bulbs in the spring on the back side, and they came up and are kind of done now. Something else new is mullein. So I planted some mullein down here. There's one little baby there. And over here, these ones are doing a lot better. There's some mullein planted in there. So yeah, the pond went way down, as you can tell, but it's actually come up about a foot or so in the last couple days. We've gotten some rain, and we are super excited to have a little baby turtle in there somewhere. It's going to be too hard to really spot him. Oh, if you look right over there, there's a little stick sticking out of the water, and in front of that little stick is a little dot, and that is the little baby turtle sticking his head out of the water. So there's a stick right there, and right there is the little baby turtle. More Sophie. Right here, we planted a few new things here this year. I've got some toad lilies, and this is horseradish and milkweed. And I can't remember the names of these, but they get huge flowers on, huge leaves on them and huge flowers. And then we're going to also plant in some hostas and things that will be separated from mine down on Homestead 1. We also put in this new path this way, and I'm going to try to navigate it without falling, because I'm not going to look through the camera. I'm going to look where I'm walking. Eventually this will be smoothed out and made into a nice path. It makes it easier for watering when we're drawing water from the pond, but it's also a little bit of a meditative walk for me, especially in the morning. It's really calm and quiet. So this is the path, and that takes us over to what will eventually be our front yard, and that way is also our property, and eventually this will be thinned out just like this is, and more so even back there, thinning it out, adding fruit trees and gardens in here in the future. Okay, so coming over, of course, Angus is walking on the rock wall. So there is the famous wattle bed we put this wattle bed, this is our first year using it. So all winter I dumped my chicken coop scrapings in here. And yeah, it's made my herbs extremely happy. I've picked, this is the most yield I've gotten from herbs this year. So yeah, in here is chamomile and calendula and 2 nice big patches of plantain. And then over on the other side, over here, excuse me, Sophie, is lemon verbena, lemongrass, and summer savory. And more summer savory over here, and this is more lemongrass here. So that's the wattle bed that you see me picking all of my herby flowers out of. Move, you gotta move. Good job, Soph. So yeah, that's our rock wall. Oh yeah, we planted some creeping thyme on here in the spring. Just those little packs of them you get. I'm hoping that it eventually will cover this all over. And there's Angus. So this compost pile here is going to be my second wattle bed, which we're going to start construction on that very soon. And of course, it's chicken, you know, chicken pen, scrapings, and whatever else we can find to throw in there. There's a woodpecker over there in the woods. That's what we hear. This is my ginkgo biloba tree. It's doing really well. This year we planted 1, 2, 3 new apple trees in here. This one here is a Honeycrisp apple tree, which I'm very excited about. They're all growing really well. This is my black lace elderberry and a skookum red no, not philodendron. Skookum red rhododendron. Chris's hens and chicks and Sophie. And gonna go back this way because I have a specific way I navigate over the rock wall. This rock wall is 100 years old, 120 years old, maybe even older. And one of Chris's distant relatives was the dude that built rock walls here in Queens County. So I wanted to preserve this and have it so that it will be a showpiece in front of where we want to put the house eventually, which will be right here in this area. And that's about it. So yeah, there are private property signs, and there's also things up here put in place so that if you are snooping around uninvited, you might end up getting into something you don't want to get into. Let's just say that. So if you're a local and you decide you want to come visit, a good idea would be to ask first. Because like I say, I don't want anybody to get hurt up here, but we have to be mindful of predators. So there are things in place up here to protect everybody from predators. Well, let's end the tour with the stinky pigs, who are very happy this year in their giant pen. And there's Lennon, who's very happy this year in his giant place to run around, right, Lennon?
Yeah. I got this thing.
It's grass. It looks like a type of wheat. And there's Sophie. That's about it. That's Homestead 2.
Yeah?
A lot of changes, but not quite where we want it just yet. But soon enough, it will be. Hope you guys enjoyed your little tour, and I hope I showcased it enough for you to understand what's going on up here. And yeah, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I would love to have a dialogue about what we're doing here and how we're doing it. So yeah, leave your questions in the comments. If you like this video and you're interested in what I'm doing, be sure to share and subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you guys later. I will do a Homestead 2 or a Homestead 1 tour and show you what's going on down there too. Bye.